Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. In each video, I select a property in a different town in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. But so, let's start today's videos, my friend, and let me introduce you today's property. So, in today's video, I'm showing you an apartment for sale, so not a house, apartment for sale in a town called Latiano. Now, very interesting town in Brindisi Province, Apulia region, and I will show you as well why it's quite interesting. Anyway, so let's start by saying that anyway is a flat apartment for sale in via Francesco Antonucci number 6, numero 6. Flat, anyway, in Italian is appartamento, that's what we call, so apartment, appartamento in vendita, for sale in via Francesco Antonucci. The asking price is 85,000 euro, which is, let's say, a very low price. All right, so we are talking about inexpensive property. The asking price is already lower than the initial one because initially they were selling for 40,000 euro. So there is already a 13% price dropping. And so we are talking about 80 square meters, 5 rooms, first floor without lift. Anyway, we'll find out very soon all we have to know about this interesting apartment. But first of all, let me show you where the property is on the Italian map. So here we are in the south of Italy, in Apulia region. So I keep zooming in. So we are in Brindisi province and we are on the main route, which is from Brindisi to Taranto. Now, this is very important because Brindisi and Taranto are two capital of the provinces of Apulia region, two of the 6 provinces of Apulia region. And basically, because we are in the route between these two big towns, Brindisi and Taranto, so we also have good transportation. Now, I know for many of you, transport is a big issue. Now, from now on, I will always recommend you in my videos to focus mainly on buses transportation than trains. Trains, anyway, are effective, are working well only if you're living in a very big city like Brindisi, Lecce, but if you already live in a smaller town, I'd say I would rely on buses. That's what Italians do. For example, the town of Latiano, which we're talking about in this property today, we see that it's not far from Brindisi. So in Brindisi, we have an international airport, and Latiano, because it's in the route between Brindisi and Taranto, has a good amount of buses every day, so easily to commute from Brindisi to Latiano. Then we are very close to Mesagne, we are close to San Vito dei Normanni. Let's keep zooming in. Now, Latiano is not a very small town because we are talking about 14,000 inhabitants. So it's under the 20,000 inhabitants. Actually, from now on, I have to say that it's under the 30,000 inhabitants, which is good for the 7% tax regime. And so this is the town, Latiano. As I said, 13,000 inhabitants, so it's a medium-sized town. And anyway, we have all type of services that we might need. Bars, restaurants, banks, post office, grocery shops, and then anyway, you can investigate yourself if you're interested to know more about this town. Anyway, you'll find all type of services that you might need. Let's say bars for sure are on the doorstep. Then, my friend, I'll go back later to do a bit of Google Street View of Latiano. What else I can say? Anyway, we'll check as well the distances from Latiano to the main important destination. But so, let's go back to the property and let's read the property description. But first of all, anyway, if you like this type of videos, please put like and subscribe. It helps my channel to grow. We nearly reached the 3,000 subscribers. Wow, very good. So let's read the description. Opportunity, 40,000 euro. Now, we know that the price is already dropping, so because we are talking about 35,000. Now, for sale, a house of approximately 80 square meters on the first floor of a building consisting of three apartments in a central, well-served area. Now, here, what do I want to say? First of all, 80 square meter is a good, decent size. We are talking about 900 square feet. On the first floor means there is only one floor to do the stairs, which is nothing, let's say, uh, of a building consisting of three apartments. So there are no management fees in this building simply because there's only three apartments. When you have two, three apartments, four, there's no garden, public, private garden. Let's say there are no management fees in a central, well-served area. A large entrance gives access to the left to the eating kitchen. So we have an eating kitchen, the bathroom with a bath tube, and a spacious small terrace. Spacious, small, so I'd say medium terrace. To the right and in front are the three bedrooms overlooking two streets, giving the corner position of the property. So the property is free on two sides, is a corner position. It says three bedrooms, I would say mainly two bedrooms and one living room on top of an eating kitchen. Then features boiler, cast iron radiators, wooden doors, windows, gas, electricity, water, and sewage share with the other apartments. Okay, that's one air conditioner, unfurnished. The basic features: 80 square meters built, 5 rooms, 1 bathroom, balcony, more than one balcony because there are 3 balconies in the house, needs renovating. So it's a house that is in need of a renovation, not in a very bad condition, but let's say there are things that has to be done and we'll investigate right now here. Okay, let's start and let's have a look at the pictures. All right, so here we are in the eating kitchen. So we have a kitchen which is not very small. All right, and overall, I don't see in a very bad condition. Now, here they say they are selling the property unfurnished. I don't know, sometimes when they say unfurnished, maybe the kitchen is not I mean is included in the price, here should be asked, but anyway, nothing special. Obviously, this kitchen here, table, nothing interesting. Anyway, but up to now, let's see. Let's judge the property, and see what can be upgraded, what can be improved. Now, here we have the main entrance door, which is belongs to the three properties that are in this building. Okay, probably one on the ground floor and two properties on the first floor. Yes, because as we see, is a just one two-story building. So we have a ground floor, and then we have uh, the first floor. Now the house is this one on the right, where we see these two balconies, and then there is another property on the left where we see the air conditioner. All right. Okay, then under we have two garages. So seems like nobody lives here, so which is a plus. Nobody is living under. We are in a central area of Latiano. Okay, here they are showing the building from outside, the two balconies. Overall, from outside, the building is not in a very bad condition. Okay, so basically, we have few steps. The property is on the first floor. Okay, there's a shared entrance, obviously. And now let's start investigating the property, which I don't see in a very bad condition. I can say that obviously the property can be upgraded, can be improved, but so overall, here we are in the hall, in the shared area. This is the main entrance door. All right, and then we have a hall in the as soon as we enter in the property. So this is a kind of good size hall, typical of the Italian houses. And overall, anyway, I don't see a property in a very bad condition. First of all, I don't see any problems with the heating system. First of all, so I don't see any heating system issues. I don't think I don't see it needs to be replaced. Then we should see keep an eye on the electrical system. Okay, here we have the kitchen. All right, which is bright. All right. Overall, okay, the kitchen is nothing special. What I'm focusing are the tiles, the condition of the tiles. Electrical system doesn't look very old. Then we have the bathroom. We access the bathroom from the kitchen. And then here we have a small terrace which it looks closed anyway. It's not an open terrace. We have, it's more a balcony, a covered balcony, a veranda with a huge bright window. So we see the property is bright because the pictures are taken with the light off, with the lights off. Another uh, another picture here of the kitchen, decent sized kitchen. Obviously, here the balcony frames are a bit dated, are a bit outdated. I don't dislike them. When they choose them long time ago, they choose good one. But anyway, should be investigated. I don't think are double glazed windows, double glazed balcony frames. This could be something to upgrade. The floor tiles overall don't look very bad. The wall tiles are not my favorite, but I don't see them in a very bad condition, so I could keep them. The doors, nothing special. Okay, so let's consider up to now. Okay, for example, the reason why I would focus on balcony doors and window frames is simply to have better isolation during the wintry months. Simply to go for good quality window frames, double glazed, that will insulate the property better. So with no drafts, let's say. Okay, let's keep moving. We are back to the hall. We are back to the hall here, and we see again a bit old entrance door, which I don't really mind, but anyway, this could be another thing to do. So, mainly doors, don't care about the furniture. They are saying the property is sold unfurnished. Focus on the spaces. Anyway, so here we have the main entrance door, the hall, and then here we have the kitchen with the bathroom and the small terrace. Okay, now here we enter in one of the bedrooms. All right. So here we are in one of the bedrooms, and okay, let me think, let me see. So we have a balcony. We have a balcony. I'm trying now to understand, for example, here, this wire that is going to the AC, to the air conditioner. For example, I wonder if it's giving the electricity here to the air conditioner. I'd say, for example, this could be built in the walls, the wires, instead of exterior. Let's see. Anyway, we have a decent sized bedroom. We have decent, uh, partially decorated ceiling, which is typical of the house, of this type of houses. Okay, anyway, from the hall we have access to this bedroom. All right, so let's say the master bedroom. Okay, we see the house, the apartment is in a quiet area, central area in Latiano. So we are not surrounded by very high buildings here, which is good. There's parking space in the area. So this is the bedroom, not on the main street, not on the main entrance, but this is the bedroom from the side, from the corner side of the house. Okay, now here we are in what I call the living area. Okay, here in the ad they said three bedrooms, but I'd say here mainly is anyway, living area. I would use this room with the balcony on the main road. Okay, we can see also this decorated ceiling. As you see, anyway, the house is in need of upgrade. More than renovation, I'd say a good upgrade. I wouldn't go for new tiles, for new floor tiles. These are marble style. I recognize. You cannot really see very well, but I saw in the pictures before. I will share the link of this property in the description. Consider that the price is only 35,000 euro. Okay, then here from what we call the living area with the balcony door, we have access to a smaller room, which could be used as a guest room, for example, or as a studio, as a hobby room. We have another balcony, so we see the house is bright enough. I see what I don't like anyway is to see these wires hanging on in the house. I think it won't take much, for example, to let pass these wires inside the wall. The electrical system, I don't see it very old. I only want to understand these wires. Maybe it's the television antenna. Generally, that's what is externally. It's always passing externally, the television antenna in most of the houses. Here we have this balcony. Here we have another view of this bedroom. Okay, the floor tiles, I would keep it. And obviously, this is not very big bedroom, but anyway, it's an extra room, it's an extra space. We access to this room from the living area. Okay. The bathroom. The bathroom needs to be renovated. We see they probably had some problem with the plumbing system here. That's why they had to break the walls in the bathtub. I would go anyway. It's not really a big bathroom, so I would go for a new bathroom in this property. Okay, this is the balcony. So we have three balconies. The balcony, this one is the one of the very first bedroom that we saw. Okay, here they're showing details of the house, caldaia on the balcony, the gas boiler, which we call caldaia, radiators. The heating system is fine. Floor tiles are fine. What I would go for new, it's simply, uh, as I said, the window frames, balcony frames, and bathroom mainly, and the doors. I would Now let's talk a bit about the price of this house. Now let's investigate the floor map. So we have the main entrance door on the left here, the shared entrance. Then we are on the first floor. We have the entrance door on the right, where we see the I, that's for ingresso, what we call hall, ingresso. Then on the left we have kitchen here and the toilet. Then we have this small terrace. All right. Then we have S stays for sala, living room, and L for letto, camera da letto, bedrooms. one bedroom here, and the small bedroom here. The price is very low now, let's say 35,000 euro. And I'd say that if you can bring at home this property down, if you can bring this property down to 25,000 euro, I'd say that would be the best deal. I'm not sure the seller might be happy to sell it for that amount of money, because 35,000 is already very low. Anyway, let's talk about the location. All right, now here we are in Latiano, and let's see, for example, how far we are from Brindisi. Again, Latiano is 14,000 inhabitants, so we are not talking about a very small town. Then here, what do we see from here? That in only 22 minutes by car, we are in Brindisi. So basically, 22 minutes, it's simply nothing. That's what I want to say. 22 minutes, anyway, in a city, you may drive just a few kilometers. Here we are talking about 26 kilometers. The roads are kind of straight, simply because we are in a flat area. And we are already in Brindisi area. Then, obviously, we are also close to seaside destination. For example, like Torre Guaceto. But before I check for Torre Guaceto, I want to understand, for example, by public transport, how long it takes to reach uh, Brindisi by public transport. Let's say here we have one option, uh, 1 hour and 15 minutes from Brindisi. Let's try to switch. So from Latiano to Brindisi. So we have a bus, 45 minutes. Then we have another one, Lecce Napoli. This one, 22 minutes. All right. So, for example, here it says that it takes, wait a second, only 15 minutes with this bus. So anyway, it's well connected by bus, this town. And that's what I would always recommend. Focus mainly on buses transportation. Here we have another one, 45 minutes to drive from the property. So from the property, in 9 minutes, 600 meters, we are at the bus stop, okay, where we have only one bus that is going from Latiano to Brindisi, 36 minutes, 19 bus stops. Then we are in Viale Arno, and then 1 minute we reach by walk. Uh, so in 1 minute by walk, information, I'd say maybe a bit more, but anyway, we are already in Brindisi province. For me, in this town, it's possible to live without transport. Then, obviously, if we want to reach seaside destination, that could be different without a car, let's say, because obviously, but in the summer, I tell you, here there are all the towns here have direct buses bringing you to local beaches. For example, Torre Guaceto. Let's see, Torre Guaceto, which is a very famous seaside destination here in the area. Okay, let's see, by car. Okay, Torre Rossa. Let's focus just on Torre Rossa. Torre Rossa, Brindisi. Let's see. For example, by car, 25 minutes. By transport, it doesn't say anything. Okay, simply because, anyway, I picked a location which has no bus stops. Torre Testa, this area. Let's say by car, 25 minutes. Um, what else? Anyway, we are not far from the sea anyway. Once you're here, then if you ask to local people, for sure they are able to tell you that there are, in particular during the summer, from May till October, there are services providing transportation from Latiano to the sea, like from Montemilone to the sea. All the towns in the south of Italy provides a bus service that brings you to the sea. All right. Uh, what else can we say? For example, okay, Mesagne, which is the neighboring town, is only 12 minutes. 12 minutes by transport. Okay, we have a bus at 8 p.m., half 8 p.m. But anyway, possible to go and enjoy an evening in Mesagne. Then there is a bus to go back. For example, the last bus is a half 10. Okay, not really. Uh, okay, but it's always possible anyway to enjoy outings. All right, Mesagne, and then what else can we check? For example, there is another beautiful town, San Vito dei Normanni, Francavilla Fontana, Ceglie Messapica, Carovigno, Ostuni. To this town, you can all go by bus. You can all have access by bus to this. And then, obviously, with friends, possible to go anywhere. Consider that there are expats living in this area. Many expats are living in Brindisi area. Mesagne, let's check San Vito dei Normanni. San Vito dei Normanni. Okay, we reach San Vito dei Normanni by bus. We need to go first. It gives different options, but anyway, let's see. By car, it takes only 15 minutes to give you an idea. Obviously, consider that if there's no car, even if you live in a big city and you don't have a car, to move from one place to another is always complicated, even if you're using a train. But in this case, I would always recommend you mainly think about buses. Okay, now let's do a bit of Google Street View to understand where the property is here in Latiano. Okay, I've lost the address. Let's check again. Okay, so we are in a central area. If we consider that this is Latiano and here we have the property, then here is the bus stop. Let's try to go from here. So, okay, let's understand the property. Okay, so we got it straight away. Then I think there is also terrace. I should go back to the ad to understand if it says if there is a terrace. No, it doesn't say anything here about terrace, even if I believe there should be access to the terrace for sure. Okay, let's go back to the property. Okay, here we see Vendesi, so for sale. Maybe they're selling also this building, the ground floor. But anyway, the ground floor looks more like a shop. So we have a clothes shop just in front of the house, Fashion Todo, that's what it calls. So here we have the main entrance, the shared entrance. Then there is a property on the ground floor. Okay, here we see the corner house, 1, 2, and 3 balcony, and then we have the kitchen that is facing the rear side of the house. Okay, I think if we drive this direction, we arrive to the main streets. where there is the bus stop. Just to understand, here we have another clothes shop about fashion. Anyway, it's a lovely area. Okay, so here we are already in the main street because I see the main cathedral, the main church. Let's see what type of business. This looks more like a bank. Cannot really see. Here we have someone selling fresh fruits and veg. We have these type of houses. These are lovely palazzo, let's say, but are in need of a little, it's needed a lot of money for renovation, to go for renovation, but these are beautiful palazzo. We see abandoned, completely abandoned. All right. Latiano, anyway, is a flat town. You don't have steps, which you might have in all the hardware shop here, casalinghi. In many towns, like in Basilicata, northern part of Apulia, Abruzzo, Molise, Calabria, Campania, these areas are not really flat, but here you have the advantage to live in a flat area and you don't have to deal with the steps in the town. Okay, here we are already in the main street where all the bus stops are. Basically, if you want to go to Brindisi, again, at least from Brindisi airport, and here you have bars. It's a lovely town, Latiano. I have to say that I have to investigate more properties in this town, simply because it's well connected with Brindisi and it's a quite big town, 13,000 inhabitants. I consider already big town simply because you have all type of services. Okay, here we have another bar, grocery shops, tabacchi. See another abandoned house. This simply because it's too expensive to renovate. Who did it? For example, who kept the houses? Here we had a bank. There used to be a bank, I can see. Anyway, this type of houses being renovated, obviously renovated a while ago, probably when the costs were lower. Okay, so here we have a grocery shop, a jewelry, and my friends, all type of services that you might need in a quite medium-sized town. Okay, let me know. We are talking about a bargain, 35,000, and I'd say it's possible even to try to deal for 25,000 euro. Then if I close for 30 for an apartment in Latiano, in Valle d'Itria, let's say Salento area, close to Brindisi, then obviously if you have a car, you have bigger advantage, but even without. Okay, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video and I'll see you here for another property for sale in Italy tomorrow. Bye.